Simon & Schuster Audio presents Solar Storms by Linda Hogan, read by Kimberly Woods. For Danielle Marie, may you find your way always to those who love you. Prologue. Sometimes now I hear the voice of my great-grandmother, Agnes. It floats toward me like a soft breeze through an open window. "The house is crying," I said to her as steam ran down the walls. The cooking stove heated the house. Windows were frozen over with white feathers and ferns. Bush said the house could withstand it. She had black hair then, beautiful and soft. She stepped out into the cold and brought in an armload of wood. I caught the sweet odor of it, and a wind of cold air as she brushed by me. She placed a log in the stove. It was still damp when the flame grabbed it. The wood spat and hissed. I didn't for a minute believe the house could withstand it. I knew already it was going to collapse. It was a wooden house, dark inside and spare. The floors creaked as she swept about. The branches of trees scraped against the windows like they were trying to get in. Perhaps they protested the fire and what it lived on. Bush unjointed the oxtails and browned them in suet. She worked so slowly, you would have thought it was swamp balm, not fat and backbone that she touched. I thought of the old days, when the oxen arrived in black train cars from the dark, flat fields of Kansas. Diseased beasts that had been yoked together in burden. All the land, even our lost land, was shaped by them, and by the hated thing that held them together as rain and sunlight and snow fell on their toiling backs. The shadows of fish floated in the sink. Bush did her own hunting then, and she had a bag of poor, thin winter rabbits. She removed their fur the way you'd take off a stocking. She dredged them in flour. In the kitchen, their lives rose up in steam. Day and night she worked. In her night clothes, she boiled roots that still held the taste of mud. She stirred a black kettle in 2 pots. In her dark skirt, she cut onions. I didn't understand until it was over what it was she had to do. I didn't know what had taken hold of her, and to what lengths she must go in order to escape its grip. She folded blankets and clothing and placed them on the floor in the center of that one dark room. She took down the curtains, shook out the dust, washed them in the sink, and hung them on lines from wall to wall. All the while, bones floated up in broth, the way a dream rises to the top of sleep. Your mother entered my dreaming once. Not floating upward that way, but crashing through. The way deer break through ice, or a stone falls into water, tumbling down to the bottom. In the dream, I was fishing in Lake Grand, when the water froze suddenly, like when the 2 winds meet and stop everything in their paths, the way they do in waking life, the way they left a man frozen that time, standing in place at the bank of Spirit River. In the dream, I saw your mother, beneath ice in the center of the lake. I was afraid of her. We all were. What was wrong with her we couldn't name, and we distrusted such things as had no name. She was like the iron underground that pulls the needle of a compass to false north. Whatever your mother was in that dream, whatever she is now, it wasn't human. It wasn't animal or fish. It was nothing I could recognize by sight or feel. The thing she was, or that had turned into her, pulled me toward it. I was standing, still and upright, drawn out that way to the terrible and magnetic center of what I feared. I slid across the glaring surface of ice, standing like a statue, being pulled, helpless and pale in the ice light. Old stories I'd heard from some of the Cree began to play across my mind. Stories about the frozen heart of evil that was hunger, envy, and greed. How it had tricked people into death or illness, or made them go insane. In those stories,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?